All right, how's everybody doing out there? I'm working on my '89 F150 here. Went ahead and got this thermostat housing pulled off, and I've been having all kinds of issues with this thing warming up. And it don't matter what you do, but this thing would not warm up for nothing. So I was trying to figure out what was going on because the heat wasn't warming it at all. And first thing I thought, well, maybe the heater core is clogged or something. But ended up it still might be clogged, but went ahead and thought about it. And first thing I thought about was the thermostat. So I took and went ahead and pulled this thermostat out. And before I show y'all what's going on here, it was two things. It could only be two things that was possibly causing this because I put a new sending unit in for the temperature gauge inside the cab here on my dash, and I checked that and I grounded it out to make sure that it was working right, and our temperature gauge is working right. So we know our gauge is actually reading accurate here. So I went ahead and did the next thing. I just felt it. I'd run this truck probably a good hour or so, and just take my hand and touching the heater hoses here, and I mean you could touch them. They were just barely like lukewarm. They weren't even warm, so you could tell the motor wasn't even warmed up right, and it had been running for like 30 minutes. But anyway, this truck every morning I go start up, the heat is just terrible in this thing. It will not. The heat is like blowing air, cold air in the mornings when it's real cold outside. And I've been letting it run for like 30 minutes almost, and it does not take that long to warm up. Because that truck over there don't even take maybe 20 minutes, and it's getting warmed up. But anyway, long story short, the heat has been cold, and it's not blowing very warm heat at all. And anyway, I took in, there's only two things that could possibly be. And when I looked at this water neck here, the one thing I noticed is somebody's been in it because you can tell by this gasket, and plus you could see that somebody's been in here and had it off. So I went ahead and was figuring on two things. Either the thermostat was 160 and they put way too cold of a thermostat in it because the gauge would go up maybe an eighth of an inch, and that's about it. But so I figured it was a 160-degree thermostat in it, or it was either stuck open because it's only two things it could be. Because I've had a truck do that before, and somebody put a 160 thermostat in it, and that is way too cold. Need to run a 195 because that's what it needs. Because if it runs too cold, you're gonna burn more gas, and it ain't gonna run right. And I think that's a lot of this issue why this thing's idling funny. But anyway, let's look at our thermostat here. Let's see what the first thing is. If we look on the back here, we look at it real close. Y'all can see that right where my thumb is. Wish y'all could see that. There it is. All right, if y'all can see that, anyway, it's a 195. It's a 195-degree thermostat, so it has the correct thermostat. But here's the problem. See that? Take a look at that. See the problem? It's stuck open. So that's what's causing this truck to make it where it won't warm up. I mean, you can run it and run it and run it, and it will not run. It will not warm up whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and get another thermostat for this thing. We're gonna put another 195 back in it, and hopefully, once I do that, that'll get rid of my warming up issues. Because this truck, that sucks in the morning where you're getting ready to go to work, and or you're getting home from work, and you got cold heat, and that's just that ain't no fun riding in a cold truck all the way home, and it ain't but like a 30-minute drive from where I work to home, but I don't feel like riding in a cold truck for 30 minutes and trying to warm up and shivering. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another thermostat in this thing. And the main reason I was going through this thing too is I was checking the antifreeze in it, and I went ahead and drained all that out, and it looked pretty bad. It was like brown and rusty looking. So I'm gonna take and flush this thing real good, and we're gonna put a new thermostat in it, and we're gonna fix this thing up so it'll run right. And I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully here soon I'm gonna go ahead and start replacing all these vacuum lines and getting all that straightened out because I want to get this truck where it'll run right. But that hopefully that'll take care of the issue where it'll warm up right. Because I mean you could run it for like an hour and you could take your hand and put on the heater hoses and I mean they were warm but they weren't like warm like they were supposed to be. You could tell. So that's good. So the sending unit for the temperature gauge because I thought that was bad at first because when I first got this truck, it's always did it like the temperature gauge never went up. Well, what it is the temperature gauge has been working fine the whole time. So I put that new temperature sending unit in it in the block down here. Not this one. Don't replace that one. That one does not go to the gauge. That's for the fuel injection on the front. It's located underneath the intake and it's all the way in the back of the block. Replace that one. That one goes to the gauge only. So I put a new sending unit in it. They're only a couple dollars. They're not too much. I think they're like $12, something like that. They're not too bad. But ended up putting that in it and got it working right. So I took and ground it out and make sure the gauge read right. So all that's good. And hopefully now when we put a good thermostat in here, it'll warm up right. Hey, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing good. But that's half there. I ain't never had a thermostat stick open like that. I'm glad it got stuck open and not stuck closed. That thing would have overheated because I've been driving over the mountain and everything. And you could see they put RTV on it. They love the RTV here. Oh, you're a mechanic? Heck yeah, cool. Bad part about it is I got all kinds of thermostats, but they're for GM stuff. I got all kinds of thermostats for that truck and for my Chevelle there, but I ain't got no Ford ones. That's the down part. I probably got like 4 or 5 of them, but I'm gonna have to go all the way to the parts place and get another one just because this truck's a Ford and they're totally different. But anyway, I'm gonna do that and replace them vacuum lines, and I'm gonna take and put some good fresh antifreeze in it. And we're gonna flush it first, and hopefully get this thing where to run right. Because I think that's why it's running funny. Is it's constantly stuck in cold mode, like the computer and all that thinks it's constantly cold because it's not warming up all the way. So that's probably why it's making it run rich and everything. So hopefully when I put a new thermostat in, that'll get rid of all them issues and make it run halfway decent. It's always just had idle funny and it fluctuates. It'll idle low, then it'll go back up. Then it'll idle low, then it'll go back up. It's just never idled. But hopefully that's definitely one issue right there. So that's good. But thank y'all for watching this video here. I appreciate all the comments. Hope you're doing good. CM 79 150. But yeah, I'm real happy about this. Hopefully get all that straightened out. That's an easy fix. Apologize for this video. It was getting dark and I've been working on it and wanting to check this thing out, and I finally had a day off from work where I can check it. That's where we're at on this, and just been busy lately. Ain't had a whole lot of time to put a lot of videos up. I went ahead and went and got some antifreeze for this truck. So once I get the thermostat and get the gasket and all that, we'll put all that back together and trying to go through and get all the trucks ready for wintertime. I already did the car. Took in because I had water in the radiator and all that, so I drained it all back out and filled up the antifreeze. That way it don't freeze and crack my block or anything. Get ready to do this truck, my 89 here, and then I gotta do my C10 last. But I want to get everything winterized. That way I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Get that on out of the way. And I need to change the oil in this truck bad. This old 89 has just been neglected horribly. And it ain't all me. It's just the previous owner had it, just never really took care of it, and it needs a lot of stuff done. I want to take and get this thing straightened out, get it running halfway decent. Oh, when you putting these thermostat housings back on, do not, whatever they say, do not tighten these things so tight that it breaks the ears off, because I've had that happen before. Because these water necks on these 306 cylinders are really thin where they bolted on. So make sure you and tighten them down right, but don't over tighten them, because you over tighten them, you snap the ear off. I've already did that before, and that sucks. And they're like $15 at the parts place to go get a whole nother thermostat housing. But anyway, that's where we're at on this truck. Here is a little update video of what I've been doing, trying to go over this thing, get it straightened out, and just do all the small stuff on it. And because the truck runs good, I mean, it doesn't run bad, but it needs a lot of small things taken care of. I'm gonna get the oil changed and tuned up and all that, and hopefully it'll run better. One thing it is gonna need, like sometime soon, like immediately, is I've got to get some tires for this thing, because these tires on this truck are just junk. They're all cracked and dry rotted and worn funny, and these old Goodyear Wrangler tires ain't worth nothing. They junk. But I've got to get a good set of tires for it. I like to get this thing straightened down enough where I can take and get it where I ain't gotta worry about it as much, and I like to sell it and go get a 4-wheel drive truck. But anyway, I think we're going to end this video here, and I appreciate y'all, everybody watching out there, and thank you for all the likes and all the comments, and I really appreciate y'all for watching. So y'all take care out there, and stay tuned for more videos. We got more coming. See ya. Bye.